An Amtrak train derails on its way to Chicago. Storms in Northern California continue to disrupt its residents. And a Los Angeles broadcast legend is back in the booth.
This is Valley View News.
Hello and welcome to Valley View News. I'm Jarena Silva.
And I'm Jarvis Heron.
Homicides in Los Angeles are rising dramatically. Murders through March 9th are up 21% over the same period last year. A large majority of the homicides is attributed to gang-related violence.
In sharp contrast, no murders were reported in Simi Valley last year, and this year, Simi Valley is one of the safest cities in the United States. Valley View News reporter Stephen Fassel has more on the story.
The Simi Valley Police Department says the rate of crime in the city has reached a new low. The department says crime has dropped for the second consecutive year, down 4% over the past 2 years. Property crimes were the most common, making up 90% of reported activity, equaling to 1,500 crimes. Police say 174 of reported crimes were considered violent. Officials credit strong police presence in Simi Valley for the declining crime rate. Residents of Simi Valley say they feel safe in the community.
I really do think that having enough cops around is going to be able to keep down the crime rate. Simi Valley is a great place to live.
So I've lived in Simi Valley for about maybe 12 years, maybe 13 years, and I've been perfectly safe all these years. I've never been scared of going outside or anything.
Gabby Carbajal also says she has noticed an increase in the number of cops around town, which could be contributing to the level of safety in the community.
We have a lot of cops now. They're like everywhere. That's not a bad thing. It's probably a bit safer knowing that there you are, watching, supervising.
Law enforcement agencies gather crime statistics each year and classify crimes. The FBI then uses the statistics to determine the safest cities in each state of the nation. Simi Valley is ranked in the top 10 cities to live in the state of California, while it is located in Ventura County, the most desirable place to live nationwide. Reporting in Simi Valley, this is Stephen Fassel, Valley View News.
124 arrests were made in Los Angeles County after a sting operation targeting underage drinking. More than 400 arrests and citations were issued overall in Southern California. Most of the arrests were for agreeing to buy alcohol from minors. The penalty is a minimum fine of $1,000 and 24 hours of community service.
Police officers shot and killed a man who stole a West Covina police cruiser last week and led them on a high-speed chase. The chase eventually ended in the San Fernando Valley after Glendale officers rammed their cars into the stolen vehicle. A shooting took place shortly after. Details on what prompted the shooting have not been released. Homicide detectives from the LA County Sheriff's Department are assisting West Covina police in their investigation.
An Amtrak train traveling from Los Angeles to Chicago derailed Monday in Kansas and injured 32 passengers. The engineer said he noticed a significant bend in the tracks ahead and hit the emergency brake, which caused the train to derail. Amtrak spokesperson said there were no life-threatening injuries. The accident is under investigation by the National Transportation Safety Board.
Strong storms hit Northern California last Sunday, causing power outages and evacuations. About 18 inches of snow fell overnight, and up to 6 inches of rain fell in the foothills. Many residents could not leave their homes because streets were flooded.
This is the worst since we've had the big flood, what was that, like 5 years ago, 6 years ago?
Some residents were also forced to evacuate because of landslides.
Residents of Beverly Hills have missed the city's water targets every month since June of last year. State regulators fined the city an unspecified amount and said its water wasters should be ashamed. Beverly Hills sent letters to dozens of residents warning them of high water use and urging them to cut down. Among those residents was comedian Amy Poehler and media mogul David Geffen, who used an average of 27,000 gallons of water a day. That's 60 times more than what an average Los Angeles family uses.
Looking for a job? Mayor Eric Garcetti unveiled a new smartphone app called Jobs LA that allows users to search nearly 50,000 employment listings in Los Angeles. The app also reaches 150,000 employers nationwide. The app filters job listings from 20,000 websites, gets updated daily, and is completely ad-free. The app is available for iOS and Android devices. You can download Jobs LA on the iTunes App Store or in Google Play.
Coming up next, the fight against childhood obesity continues.
And in entertainment news, R&B artist Sierra says yes to The Ring.
when you're out there, there's no telling what you'll find.
I see it! I see it! Oh, look at you.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org.
Hey, Hard, what's this?
That's my resignation letter.
You're resigning. Why?
Because you're constantly ignoring me. You're half as active as you used to be, and you get stuff like this.
You've been putting me under a lot of pressure lately.
That's why I'm ready to quit.
I forgot. I'll do better. Please, don't quit on me.
Okay, but remember, it's not what you say, it's what you do.
Listen to your heart. Don't let it quit on you.
Let's go for a walk.
Uncontrolled high blood pressure could lead to a stroke, heart attack, or death. Get yours to a healthy range before it's too late.
Everywhere that we go, he makes people laugh and makes people smile, and I feel like I have that quality.
He's the one who always takes me fishing.
I watch golf with him. And
I watch him cook, because when I grow up, I want to be a cook too.
We have the same faces like this.
Dad is the one, when you fall, that picks you up.
That unconditional sense of presence and reassurance is really what makes him my father.
Can't let him make it.
Dude, you better not be illegally downloading movies again. I don't want a virus on my computer. Seriously.
Yes!
Got it.
They got it. What an idiot.
When you rip off copyrighted material, someone could be ripping you off.
What the? Where's my money?
The U.S. government will pay for new tests of the HIV rings that protect women from AIDS. The rings have reduced the risk of HIV by 27%. For women ages 25 and older, the ring lowered the risk of infection by 61%. It is still unknown why the ring did not work as well for younger women. There are more than 1.2 million people in the U.S. with HIV and 50,000 newly infected people each year.
A new study shows that an experimental drug derived from marijuana reduces epileptic seizures. The study involved 120 patients with an average age of 10. The students averaged 13 seizures a month. The seizures fell by 39% during the 14-week treatment. This would be the first prescription drug in the U.S. that is extracted from marijuana, if it wins regulatory approval.
Junk food advertisements may soon be banned online in the UK. TV ads featuring food high in fat, sugar, and salt are already banned on the channels for viewers under 16. The new proposal comes after studies found children are watching more content online.
A new Canadian study shows being underweight is just as unhealthy as being overweight. Researchers examined 55,000 people over the age of 40 and tested them for body fat. They found the thinnest people and the heaviest have a higher risk of dying compared to people of normal weight. The risk of diabetes, heart, and lung disease were similar between thin and heavy groups.
The nonprofit organization Junior League is fighting childhood obesity with the help of many civic leaders. Reporter Desiree Lopez attended their most recent event, Kids in the Kitchen, and has more on the story.
Hula hooping and taekwondo were among some of the things families were able to enjoy during the 11th annual Kids in the Kitchen event.
We have healthcare groups, we have a variety of different health programs and activity programs throughout the city that are here set up, just teaching our children and our families how to be more healthy.
The event that started from a small parking lot has now grown into a yearly event where it teaches families about fighting childhood obesity by eating healthy.
When you mix healthy stuff, to me, it becomes more tastier and better for me than junk food. Like strawberries and corn and banana and all it. Well, my favorite type of food is healthy because it makes me feel good.
Kids in the Kitchen gave families the opportunity to learn about healthy eating habits and different ways to stay active. In Long Beach, this is Desiree Lopez for Valley View News.
Down the street from Universal is an iconic privately owned bookstore. The store Iliad is a vanishing breed in a business dominated by large chains and Amazon.com. Valley View News reporter Delmy Moran has the story.
Numerous bookstores have closed down in the past few years with the rise of technology, but Iliad is one of the few bookshops in the valley to survive. Dan Weinstein, owner of Iliad, says why he started the bookshop several years ago.
When I was young, I used to work in my family's bookstore. They had a bookstore. They had several bookstores. I started working for an uncle and realized that I could do this myself. I started it back in 1987, not far from here on Vineland, and moved here about 10 years ago. 2006, we moved here to our current location.
Weinstein's diverse book collection is what separates him and keeps him competing against corporate bookstores.
Always tried to have things that Barnes & Noble didn't carry in their store. My philosophy is if it's interesting, I want it on my shelves. I used to do a lot of specialty press ordering in the infancy of the store, so we had a lot of things that weren't available through Barnes & Noble, so we found our niche there.
The Iliad Bookshop has over 100,000 books just like this one, with a variety of genres such as graphic novels and specialty press books that big corporations don't always seem to carry. This type of diversity is what keeps our customers coming back.
My husband brought me here and he said, come on, I want to show you something. And we probably stayed for about 3 hours the first time. One of the books that I bought here is about the wife of one of the Confederate officers in the Civil War. If you have interest in things that are off the wall, this is definitely the place to come.
Not only has the diversity in books attracted customers, but also the atmosphere of the bookshop is community-based and welcoming to outsiders.
We get people from all over Los Angeles, the United States, the world. We have people who stop in LA and this is one of their destinations, so I'm sort of proud of that. Here's Mr. Walt Disney's signature. He was a local celebrity here.
Weinstein is so passionate about books that he keeps a collection of books and articles focusing on historical events. So what's your favorite book here in the shop?
Well, that's a tough one. I've got so many favorites, but some of the ones I'm really proud of. I have a book here signed by Mark Twain. And what's interesting about it is it's signed by Mark Twain and Samuel Clemens, who are the same guy, but signed twice. It's in a limited edition, and it's part of a set, but this is the signed volume.
Weinstein's dedication to keeping hard copy books alive could keep Iliad strong for many years to come. In North Hollywood, I'm Delmy Moran for Valley View News.
Let's go to Stephen Fassel now with the latest in entertainment.
Thank you, Jarvis. Zootopia is dominating the box office for the second week in a row. The movie about a mammal metropolis has made about $288 million internationally. Zootopia is the highest grossing Disney animation release ever in Russia and China. The movie is playing in 45 countries so far. Sierra is on her way to 1-2 stepping down the aisle. Seattle Seahawks quarterback Russell Wilson proposed to the singer last Friday. Sierra and Wilson's relationship attracted a lot of attention when the couple said they were abstaining from sex for religious reasons. Sierra has a son from ex-fiancé rapper Future, and this will be her first marriage. Sources say the couple wants to get married before the NFL season begins. Universal Studios says its Walking Dead maze attraction will become a permanent feature at the park starting this summer. The maze is modeled after the highly ranked AMC television show, The Walking Dead. The walk-through maze was introduced as a seasonal attraction during the theme park's Halloween Horror Nights 3 years ago. Tina Fey confirmed that a Mean Girls Broadway musical is in the works. It's been nearly 12 years since the Mean Girls movie hit theaters. Tina Fey and her husband, composer Jeff Richmond, partnered to produce the musical with lyricist Nell Benjamin. There's no word yet on when the musical will make its way to Broadway. That's all for entertainment. Back to more news.
A 27-year-old U.S. citizen from Virginia was shot and captured by Kurdish troops in Iraq last Monday. U.S. officials say Mohammed Jamal Amin is suspected of joining ISIS and then defecting. More than 70 people have been arrested in the United States since March 2014 on suspicion of helping to support the Islamic State.
Curfews have been declared in 3 towns in southeast Turkey following last Sunday's bombing in Ankara. 37 people were killed after a car bomb detonated in the Turkish capital. Turkey believes the bomber was a female member of the Kurdistan Workers' Party. 11 warplanes carried out airstrikes on 18 terrorist targets.
Russian President Vladimir Putin says he will begin to pull out the main contingent of its troops in Syria. He says he hopes the withdrawal of the troops will lead to a political resolution of the conflict. Russia says their troops killed more than 2,000 rebel fighters since they entered the conflict last summer.
Negotiations have begun to end the civil war in Syria. A partial ceasefire has reduced violence but still allows Syrian forces to attack their enemies. An agreement is still in question because of disagreements on what to do with Syrian President Bashar al-Assad. Officials say Russia and the United States appear to be more involved in reaching a solution.
Coming up next, new restrictions on painkillers.
And March Madness is in full effect.
Come on, let's go.
Just a minute, I gotta finish this.
Wait, you're gonna post those pictures of Mary?
Yep. She thinks she's so hot.
But her mom and dad will see them. Her grandmother, her little sister, everyone she knows, it's gonna kill her.
Who cares? Just a couple of pictures. It's no big deal.
No big deal? Don't. This has gotta stop.
There are 16 million children struggling with hunger in America. That's 1 in 5 daughters, sons, neighbors, and classmates who don't know where their next meal is coming from. Yet billions of pounds of good food go to waste every year. It's time we do something about it. Feeding America is a nationwide network of food banks that helps provide meals to millions of kids and families in need. Visit feedingamerica.org to help them feed even more. Together, we can solve hunger. Together, we're feeding America.
They're coming. Places, everybody.
Light check. 1, 2, 1, 2.
Everything looks good on our end.
And lights.
Come alive with the forest. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
So, same time next week?
Well, of course.
A video has surfaced of a Kellogg's assembly line worker urinating on cereal products. The incident happened in 2014 at a facility in Memphis. The video was uploaded on the World Star Hip Hop's website. A spokesperson for the company said the products that could possibly be affected include Rice Krispie treats and granola clusters. Kellogg's is looking into the incident, and the FDA is starting a criminal investigation.
Lawmakers in Massachusetts have passed a bill that would restrict the number of painkillers a doctor can prescribe. Every state except Missouri already has a prescription monitoring program. In 2014, the death toll nationwide from overdoses reached over 28,000, a 14% increase from the previous year. Experts say decreasing prescribed painkillers may have unintended consequences. They say people may try heroin and other drugs if they can't get prescribed painkillers.
Every 3 minutes, a person in the United States is diagnosed with a blood cancer. Team in Training is a nonprofit organization dedicated to helping find a cure. Reporter Carla Gutierrez has more on the story.
Team in Training means my life.
In 1997, Virginia Gardner was diagnosed with a type of leukemia known as chronic myeloid leukemia. And in 1998, she entered a clinical trial for a drug that was funded by money raised through a program known as Team in Training and has been cancer-free since then.
If it weren't for the people who came before me in Team in Training in the 1990s, working hard to raise the money that they did, I wouldn't be alive today.
Team in Training is a fundraising program for the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society that helps raise cancer-fighting dollars while helping individuals complete endurance events like marathons. TNT offers experienced coaches and a group of support staff that will help prepare individuals cross the finish line of a half or full marathon. TNT campaign director Sarah Clark says the Team in Training experience is like no other.
It's a life-changing experience for patients and their families, but also for people who are actually out there on the trails and running and raising money and cycling and swimming and doing all of that.
People run for different reasons. Some participants run to achieve their own personal physical goals. Some run in honor of someone battling cancer, while some run in memory of someone who has lost their fight. Since Team in Training was born, TNT has helped train over 600,000 participants take part in endurance events such as marathons. Team in Training has been training participants for more than 25 years and has raised more than $1 billion. Teammate Virginia goes on to say that Team in Training is more than just a running team.
It means family to me. It means purpose. It means life-saving. It means strength. It means proving that you can do something you may never have thought you could do. And it means love.
From Los Angeles, I'm Carla Gutierrez, Valley View News.
Now let's go to Carla Gutierrez with the latest news in sports.
Thanks, Tarina. The NCAA is investigating how the 2016 men's basketball tournament bracket got leaked on social media. Word quickly got around about the leaked bracket long before CBS finished airing its Selection Sunday special. The NCAA says it takes the situation seriously and is looking into the matter. CBS declined to comment. March Madness is underway, and so are the California High School State Championships. Redondo Union defeated Birmingham 82-72 to punch its tickets to the next round. The winner between Narbonne High and Alemany High would meet Redondo Union in the Southern Regional semifinals. Valley View News reporter Carlos Gonzalez was there and has the latest.
The Narbonne Gauchos were host to the Alemany Warriors in the second round of the Division I Southern California State Championships. Narbonne fell 2 weeks ago in the LA City Championship game to Westchester, while Alemany fell to Inglewood in the first round of the Open Division Southern section. The Gauchos got off to a quick start, pounding the ball down low, earning their points in the paint. But Alemany's great team chemistry, quick guard attack, and strong play from junior Ernie Sears sent the Warriors up 5 points after this half-court heave was banked in at the buzzer. Alemany went back to superstar Ernie Sears and its effective guard play to start the second half. Narbonne's guards on the other side took it personal, sticking to the game plan, using their length, as Coach Anthony Hillard expected that to be the key.
We had a size advantage in the post with our guards, so we tried to post up our guards, take advantage of the height advantage, and get some easy layups inside.
This free throw gave Alemany a 3-point lead with less than a minute remaining. And not only did Narbonne's Jeremiah Galang take the charge to get his team the final shot, he canned the game-tying three to send the game into overtime. In overtime, the Gauchos' defense was able to hold off Alemany to come up on top by 2 points. Guard Jamal Hicks credited the energy in the building for the huge win.
Atmosphere was great. Our fans was just loving it. It was turned, so we just fed off them.
Narbonne's football team has already won their state championship, and after tonight's victory, Narbonne's basketball team is one step closer. In Harbor City, Carlos Gonzalez, Valley View News.
The Cleveland Cavaliers buried the Los Angeles Clippers with a flurry of three-pointers last Sunday at Staples Center. The Cavs made 18 three-pointers en route to their 114-90 win over the Clippers. But it was all smiles prior to the game between Clippers owner Steve Ballmer and Mickey Mouse. Picking up in the second half, LeBron James drives to the basket for this dunk. He finished with 27 points. Later in the third quarter, James hits a three-pointer over Wesley Johnson. James had 3 three-pointers. In the fourth quarter, Cavs guard Kyrie Irving hits a long three-pointer to put the Cavs up 26 points. Irving finished the game with 17 points and 5 assists. Clippers guard J.J. Redick led the team with 19 points, while guard Chris Paul had 17 points and 10 rebounds. Pittsburgh Steelers wide receiver Martavis Bryant plans to appeal a year-long suspension for drug use. Bryant's agent says the wide receiver is fighting depression and plans to enter rehab for evaluation. Bryant served a 4-game suspension last season after violating the NFL's substance abuse policy. He had 50 receptions for 765 yards and 6 touchdowns last year. The Cal State Northridge baseball team swept the Yukon Huskies 12-4 and 2-1 last Sunday. The team won its 8th and 9th straight games. Northridge is 1 game shy of tying its all-time winning streak set in 2002. In Game 1, CSUN pitcher Kenny Rosenberg retired 16 of the 17 batters he faced while striking out 8 batters. In Game 2, CSUN first baseman Brennan Berry tied the game at 1 with a solo home run in the 8th inning. The Matadors took a lead off a sacrifice fly from Dylan Alexander later in the inning. The Matadors are 14-3 this season. That's all for sports. Back to you.
A familiar voice to Los Angeles sports fans is back behind the microphone calling baseball games for CSUN. This man has been announcing for over 65 years. Valley View News reporter Jarvis Heron has the story.
Large is at 311. Left-handed batter takes a strike, and the count goes to 0-1.
Recognize this voice?
11 runs batted in.
Well, you should. Former Los Angeles Dodgers announcer Ross Porter is now calling home baseball games for Cal State Northridge. After not announcing any games in 11 years, Porter got the chance to return to the booth.
I never felt that my career was really totally over. I felt like I could still contribute in some way, and I could do what I've done in the past. So this was an opportunity just to show myself and show anybody else that, yeah, he can still announce baseball and do a credible job. The pitch, slow, breaking ball, good for
Porter broadcast Dodgers baseball for 28 years alongside Ben Scully and was a sportscaster at KNBC for 10 years. He was inducted into the Southern California Sports Broadcasters Hall of Fame in 2005. Porter says his passion for sports started when he was a little boy in Shawnee, Oklahoma.
When I was about 4 years old, my dad would put me in his lap in the morning when he was eating breakfast and read me the sports page. And so I caught on to it very early and very immediately turned to sports as not only a hobby, but as a very, very fond, I guess you'd say, avocation at that time.
Porter's neighbor across the street was the announcer for the Dodgers Class D minor league team. He knew of Porter's interest in sports and would invite Porter to games he worked. One night, a 14-year-old Porter got his big break.
One night, out of a clear blue sky during a commercial, he turned to me and said, "How would you like to do a half an inning of play-by-play?"
And after that, Porter got the chance to announce high school football and basketball games. Porter is known for his preparation and attention to detail. He arrives here at Matador Field at least 2 hours before the game to go over notes that he's researched and to meet with players and coaches to get the inside scoop on the team.
You can't just come to the ballpark and say, okay, here we go, ball one, strike one, ground ball to short, out at first. You've got to be able to supply information, try to make it interesting, try to make it with some excitement. And that's what I've tried to do.
Porter says he is having a great time calling Matadors baseball. He enjoys being back on a college campus again, and he looks forward to being a part of the on-field success of the team.
The pitch is strike three called, and the ball game is over, and the Matadors win.
Reporting in Northridge, Jarvis Heron, Valley View News.
Thank you for watching Valley View News. I'm Jarina Silva.
And I'm Jarvis Heron. We'll see you next time.